Did you yell America when you hit the accelerator?
Oh, no.
And now, your favorite two blue-collar nobodies to give you their quiet perspective, Star-Lord and Joey.
You can't handle the truth!
Welcome back, YouTubers. This is Headmaster Star-Lord along with Mistress Joey.
What's up, everybody?
Today's topic is one of huge proportions. We are going to be talking about religion.
Yay!
It's going to be a good one.
It is. It's one of those really important
Holy
topics.
shit topics.
Yeah, pretty much. Holy shit. It's one of those
holy
topics
shit, we're
that gets
doing
everybody
religion.
in an uproar, but I think if you boil it down, it's not as big a deal as people are making it out to be. As long as everybody just
really not.
leaves everybody else the fuck alone.
You know, I find that every topic we talk about literally has the same basic theme. Sit down, shut up, and color, leave everybody alone, and everything's going to be fine.
But that's being conservative. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, let's get away from that because that's the bad word. So, what about religion are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about, I guess, religion, what it is, what purpose it serves, how we are religiously, and I want to get into what I consider the war on religion that is out there. And there's a lot of people who are out there that deny it. I think that's your left, your media, your mainstream media, your Hollywood, that deny that there is a war on Christianity, and I think that's horseshit. I think there is definitely a war on Christianity and organized religion in general. So, right off the bat, Joey, are you religious?
No, I'm not a real religious person at all. I do believe, personally, there's something after, you die. I hope there is. I don't go to church. I didn't grow up going to church. I just wasn't involved in that. And my kids aren't, being a conservative, people lump us in with what you call Bible thumpers, and they think everybody's super religious and we believe a certain way. I don't. But one thing I can tell you, the freedom of religion is guaranteed in this country and everybody should have it. That's what I believe. So if you want to be a Christian, if you even want to be a Muslim, I say even because most people think conservatives are automatically against Muslims. If you want to be Muslim in this country, you want to be Hindu, you want to be Buddhist, you should have the freedom to practice your religion just like everybody else. Right? So
I agree with that. So it might surprise you. I'm actually a Satanist. I practice satanic
that's
worship.
a lie.
No, I was actually raised Catholic, which means I went to church every Sunday, to use the term religiously.
And that's pretty hardcore religion, yeah?
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
because
from
of
what
that,
I've read.
I'm no longer Catholic, so that's how that goes.
Yeah.
I still practice like a lot of the Catholic traditions. If I'm at anywhere where somebody's praying, I have to, lower my head and everything. I always have to do the sign of the cross with my hand afterwards. It's a Catholic thing. If you walk up to me and say the force is with you, I also have to say, and also with you. It's a Catholic thing. It's weird. But I'm with you 100%. I believe in freedom of religion. And it's actually guaranteed in our Constitution. The very first amendment is freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, the right to peacefully assemble.
Right.
That's very important because the First Amendment has come under fire and been used as a weapon so often here lately. I would say the past 15 years, it's really ramped up with this whole sick left freedom from religion movement that we see.
Before we get off topic, I think I can sum that up real quick. That's a play right out of the Marxist playbook, is to take over the media and suppress religion. That's exactly what that is. But anyway, moving on.
Well, no, now that you bring that up, I want to point that out. I think religion has always been a vice it's put into place to control. I truly believe this. I don't think any culture or any civilization can survive without religion.
Well, hold on. Not to cut you off, but go back right to it. But you asked me what are your current religious beliefs? You said you were raised
Okay,
Catholic
so
and all
my
that.
current, I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. I believe in a higher power because I want there to be one. I would consider myself kind of agnostic. I'm very scientific. If I don't see it, I don't believe it. If it can't be proven, I find it hard to believe. But I have blind faith. I'm fully aware that it's completely blind, makes zero sense. I want there to be something there, so I believe there's something there.
Right. And
That's how I
a
feel.
lot of my friends that are gonna watch this are they're gonna think that's weird because I have a lot of friends that they're not like super religious, but they are religious, and that's the kind of the same thing I'm on. It's
Uh, would
you
it
know,
surprise you to know that I pray?
yeah, it would.
I actually pray when the time calls for it. I also, in my daily life, like if I stub my toe or something, I will cuss God out for it and blame him for my. When you hear me all the time, we play Call of Duty. I'm blaming God for that shit
Yeah, yeah.
all goddamn day. But I'll tell you,
And with the
I'll
goddamn
tell
right
you what,
behind it.
and I'll tell you what. I really do this 100%. When I'm done, I will actually say it out loud, or enough to where he can hear me. I apologize, God. I didn't mean it. That's
Yeah,
how religious I am. I
yeah.
have to actually make
It,
that
and
ask.
that's the thing. That's the thing that gets me about religion in today's society. When you have to pay to get forgiveness from God or to go to a place and worship whatever God you choose to, and you have to pay. That's when you have what's his
Okay.
name? What's his name with the big fucking place in
Oh,
Houston?
Joe Osteen. Yeah.
Yeah, that I don't know. I'm not trying to offend anybody that may love Joe Olstein. He's a great motivational speaker and he
Mhm.
passes the word of God on and all. But man, how do you have a I don't know how many acre mansion and stuff that he has and a helicopter and all that stuff and I don't know. When money
Okay.
gets involved, it starts kind of getting crooked to me.
So I'm glad you brought that up. So we're going to dive into this. You know how I feel religiously? I don't believe in church. I believe your church is where your heart is. Church is where you pray. Church can be the side of your bed. It can be a hospital room. Church is where you go to worship. I
Right.
believed organized religion, for the most part, is bullshit. Now, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying people who are religious is bad. If you go to church, that's not a bad thing.
No, not
It's
at
really
all.
not. Now, it can be, there it can
Well,
be.
yeah, if you're in a
As a
crazy
whole,
ass
it's not.
cult, or
Well, I
some
mean, if you
weird
just let it
shit.
consume your whole life and you don't see anything other than God, you don't live in reality. You know what I mean?
Right.
It can be bad. But I'm saying church is not bad, but I believe organized religion is BS, and I'll tell you why. How many religions are there? Just 800, 900 religions, and
Yeah, I
there's
don't
new ones
know.
all the time. I believe, well, only one of them can technically be right. I mean, right?
Geez, think if leftists were involved in religion, but they're not. But think if they were, with like the way they do genders, fuck, there'd be like 10,000 of them right now.
Well, wasn't that kind of the Muslim thing? Do it our way, or we're just going to kill you. I mean, is
Well,
that not their MO?
now you're drawing
Yeah, I'm
parallels.
talking about the extremists, but that's how the leftists are. It's our way or the highway.
Right.
But I don't believe in organized religion because it changes all the time. And I think if any religion is true, religion itself is based on going back to the beginning of time. It should never change to suit the times or anything. And all major religions have changed throughout the times. So I don't believe any of actual religion. Now I can take away from the Bible and Jesus's teachings and stuff like that. But I think
Dude, it's a great book to live by. It's like a guidebook for life.
absolutely.
For sure.
But I think
No doubt about that.
going to a
But
church building and having to give money and you say 5 Hail Marys and he's going to forgive you. I don't believe in any of that
yeah,
stuff.
you shouldn't.
Uh,
I don't think so. I think if if I believe in God and I sit and talk to him by myself, I think in the absolute most purest way of religion, he's going to hear me and I'm going to be okay.
I believe the golden rule is religion. You treat others the way you want to be treated. That's how you get into
Yeah.
heaven. I don't believe you have to. I'm going to say it. I don't think you have to accept Jesus Christ. to go to heaven. I mean, come on. What if here's my argument for people who are against that. They say God made you what you are, correct? Well, God made me a scientific thinking, logical thinking person. So he made me doubt religion. He made me question things I can't see or that, that can't be proven. Why am I going to go to hell for how he made me? Isn't that a bit contradictory?
Yeah, it's a built-in contradiction.
So I think those are all scare tactics. They're control tactics to keep you in a certain religion and stuff. And I think back in the day, they definitely had their place. I mean, can you imagine the medieval times with zero religion? I mean, it would have been ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they were bad.
Yeah.
Because it was the root of most evil. But without it,
Right.
people would have been running amok even more than they were.
Right. Yeah. It was definitely a control thing, an organizational thing.
It was a mob.
Way back then.
It was the mafia. It was back then.
Kind of, yeah.
And it still is. I mean, think about it. The Pope now, who is ordained apparently by God or Jesus himself, which, I don't know, is he got like a internet connection right up to heaven? How does that shit work? I mean, I don't believe man has any power from God whatsoever. I mean, are we just going to take their word for it? But the Pope is getting involved in political issues with the border wall.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I forgot to tell you. The Pope is actually trying to make an 11th commandment. Did I tell you about this?
No.
He's actually trying to instate an 11th commandment on not destroying the environment. I kid you not. He's a Greenpeace guy. He's one of these. And that right there. Why are we adding commandments if it's a religion? Religion shouldn't change.
Well, and as far as the Pope goes, I don't know for a fact, obviously, because I'm not there, but I've heard that the Vatican in Italy, they are like the biggest spy network in the entire world.
Oh man,
and they have more money.
Oh yeah,
more money than any other organization in the world. So okay, they have a lot of money to influence, and they have their feelers out everywhere. That doesn't sound like people just wanting to repent and come on Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
What about the secrets? All their secrets, all their documents you're not allowed to see and stuff like that. That's not a religion to me. That's a cult. And
yeah,
you shouldn't say it, but
not to call Christian or
and again,
Catholics
we are not
cultists,
attacking
but
anybody, any religion.
Yeah, we're not. We're
I'm just talking
just on the outside looking in on different things is what we're talking about.
Because I consider myself Christian. I really do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, religion's a really weird thing. And now when you get to different religions, different things, there might Scientology, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, what the fuck? There's documentaries. I need to watch Katie Holmes' multi-part little thing that she has on whatever channel it is. I don't know. It's like a multi-part thing or it's not Katie Holmes. It's what's her name?
Leah Remini.
Yes, Leah Remini from King of Queens. Man, she's hot.
Oh,
but
God, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, she got wrapped up into Scientology, and yeah, that shit is apparently really weird. And there's a lot of celebrities that are in that.
Yep.
Tom Cruise is pretty high up in that, from what I've read.
In order to get in, you have to pay money. Just FYI.
Yeah.
So it's another one of those, like, I don't know. I'm with you. Pay to play. I'm with you. I think religion at its core is a great thing, but I think the people who run it, the people in charge, have turned it into a business. Like you said, Joel Osteen's got all his millions.
That's exactly what it is. You can take any religion from 1,000, 2,000 years ago, or whenever the first person started that thing, and they were probably trying to organize people and try to basically tame them and make them not crazy and just wild and shit, and set values for everybody. And that's what religion is. That's what it offers you. If you read the Bible, like I said, it's a great book to live by. But the way religion is today, it's like you said, it's a business.
It truly is. And it's diminishing. People are being less religious nowadays. Hell, let's talk about the fall of religion. So all that being said, I 100%, we touched on this earlier, we believe in freedom of religion, whatever religion is, even Muslims. You can do your thing, Muslims, and that's coming from me.
Yeah,
Um,
let me say this. If anything, I may not be real religious, but I'll go defend your freedom of religion. You know,
absolutely.
if
To
I
the
see
death.
if I see somebody getting fucked with out in public about their religion, I'll step in and say something. If it's a Muslim, be like, "Hey, why are you, well, nowadays that would be the one I'd walk into most likely, but you know, uh, i- everybody this is the fucking United States, right? We
Hmm.
have freedom of religion, so that's what we're going to do."
Well, let's talk about that because that's what's been up for debate and that's what's been kicking our ass here recently. We have, excuse me, freedom of religion, which has been perverted to freedom from religion. You can no longer walk around and say Merry Christmas. It is politically incorrect.
Yeah, there is definitely, I don't care, and please, anybody that's listening to this, debate me in the comments. There's not a war on Christianity.
There
Debate me.
absolutely is.
You're gonna lose.
If you
Absolutely.
don't, if you say Merry Christmas, you get shunned. Schools are no longer allowed to have Christmas trees. You have to say Happy Holidays. It's absolutely ridiculous. Easter, you can't put Easter
Why
stuff
can't
up.
everybody just say what they want to say? You know what I mean?
So yeah,
Like,
let's.
if I'm a Christian, I want to say Merry Christmas to somebody, or in that setting at Christmas time. Why can't I say that and not get in trouble? And then if somebody
Well,
else has their own, what is the do you know what the I keep bringing up the Muslim thing, but that's really the contrast to Christianity right now in our times. What is their Christmas? Do they have that? What is that?
I'm not well versed on. I know they have Ramadan. That's one of their big holidays. It's not around Christmas though. I
And I'm
don't know if
sure
they
they
have
don't walk
anything
around to
around
each other and
Christmas.
say Happy Ramadan, or maybe they do. I don't know. But I
I don't
mean, if
remember.
somebody fucking told me that, if some Muslim walked up to me and said Happy Ramadan, I'd be like,
Are you gonna
okay,
get pissed off and tell them they can't say
no,
that to you?
no,
You're
fuck
not?
no,
Wait. You
no.
mean you can just accept that and walk
I
away?
don't know what Ramadan is. I'll be honest, that much. But
All right, let's do it
I
this way. This is an easy one. Hey Joey, Happy Hanukkah.
Hanukkah, yeah, that's Jewish people.
Yeah. So
If
if I
somebody
say
says
Happy Hanukkah to
it,
you,
if I walk up to a person and they're Jewish and I say, "Hey, Merry Christmas," and they say Happy Hanukkah, I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, dude, cool." That's exactly
wow,
what I'm gonna do.
wow, we just solved half of America's problems. All right, end of the show. We just solved it all. There we go.
End of the channel.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to. So, I mean, we've got all these different examples. The big one here in Santa Fe, Texas. Again, you remember you were going through high school, same time I was. The whole not being able to pray before a football game thing came up.
Oh
They were
yeah.
people protesting. I'm talking, there was news media, everything. We could not pray. We would pray, and people would be protesting with picket signs before a football game. Joey, what do you do? Let's say you're just walking by a Muslim event, and everybody's doing their Muslim thing. What do you do?
I keep walking. It's
Keep walking.
it's not, and that's not a act of defiance against them. It's not that I'm trying to ignore them in protest. It's That's not my group. Let them do their
Mhm.
thing, and I'll keep moving along and do my thing.
Let me go one a little further. Let's say you're at a specific event and it happens to be majority Muslim and they got to do their prayer thing before it starts. How about we just bow our heads and be quiet out of respect?
Absolutely. Why not? Right?
Why not? But everybody thinks that the First Amendment is freedom from religion, and
It's
that is
kind of
not the
like
case.
the singing of the national anthem before football games, and people want to protest.
Yes.
But that's a different issue. But it does kind of
Everything
you're
we talk about comes down to the basic same thing.
you're encroaching on everybody else's thing
Well, let's break this down
when
real
you
quick.
don't have to. You don't have
Yeah,
to do that at
because
any.
everybody's got that self-importance that they think is out there. So what is the
Let me tell you something real quick. I got a story about a Muslim prayer during high school football. When I was playing high school football, I'm not gonna say his name, not because I'm ashamed of him or anything. He was a
Alba?
badass dude. He was
Alba.
a beast. But let me tell you, this guy, he before the game, we would have our prayer. We would do the Lord's Prayer, like a lot of teams in Texas do, or different states that still allow the shit. We would do the Lord's Prayer. He would get up, he would walk out, and I don't even know why it came to my attention or whatever, but I asked somebody, I was like, why does he leave whenever we're doing that? He's Muslim. This is in 1990, between 1995 and 1997 when it happened. I didn't know what a Muslim was. And you know what they said? They said, well, he's a Muslim and the Lord's Prayer is not his religion. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. We
So
did our Lord's
obviously
Prayer.
was going out
He
to
came back
complain,
in.
change everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah, right. He came back in. We went out there and we all kicked ass together. So
As it should be.
yeah.
That's exactly that's respect. And
Yeah.
and not making it about you.
Exactly.
Just because you don't like something doesn't mean you get to change
And
it.
on top of that, I'm the one taking part in the Lord's Prayer, and I don't even go to church at the time.
Look at that.
Or since then, before then, whatever. It was just for me, it was just a group thing for me. I didn't have something different from that, so I just participated, and I don't know why people have to make it all about themselves nowadays.
Well, let's talk about some of so you'd say there's no freedom or there's no war on religion, which there obviously is. Give you just a couple examples. The Freedom from Religion Foundation is a from religious foundation that just goes around sues people to get their way, to get religion removed from the public view for whatever reason. 2019, March 4th, they stopped New Jersey from allowing state grants to repair churches. Your thoughts on that?
If the repairs on churches were state granted before, why would they do that? I mean,
Well, I have an issue with it for this reason. One, no, it says churches. It doesn't say Christian churches, Muslim churches, Jewish. It's just churches. They're buildings. Okay. The First Amendment allows everyone to have their own religion. It does not mean. It means that the government can't sponsor a religion and make you believe in one thing. You know what I
right?
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It does not mean they can't have things going on with churches. It just means they can't force that on the people.
Yeah.
And I
So
think that's the big thing. So the separation between church and state does not mean you can't have 10 commandments in front of the state capitol. It just means we can't force you to believe in the 10 commandments.
yeah, and why would an organization go? And I'd be curious to know which particular churches by religion that they were doing that with. Which this organization you're saying is just against religion in general.
Oh yeah, they're absolutely.
So
against
yeah, it
religion.
probably didn't even matter. But
I've got several cases. March 21st, 2018, the Freedom from Religion Foundation and the ACLU ends public schools live nativity scene because it's a public school and they're having a nativity scene. My question is why? Are you so offended that these kids who are doing it willingly are having a good time practicing their own religion?
yeah, why
what's
would
the
they
issue
do
here?
that? I mean, there's nothing excluding any other religion set. Show me where there's something excluding any other religion setting up right next to them. It could have been a really cool example of all the different religions right next to each other if you had, different stuff right next to each other.
Well, and that's what it always
And if
comes
that's
down
not
to.
if that's not the case, then why?
It's always two groups bitching. It's always atheists who's saying, well, what about me? If I don't believe in it, you're not allowed to believe in it. And then you've got people from other religions saying, well, what about my religion? If you can't show mine, you can't do yours. And that's never the case with either one of those. Nobody is pushing their views on anybody else. They're just practicing their First Amendment. They are practicing their First Amendment and they're being shut down by this war on religion. I'm not even going to say war on Christianity. It's war on religion.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Here's one that hits closer to home. This has been going on for 4 or 5 years now. A lot of the sheriffs and police departments in the area put "In God We Trust" on their patrol vehicles, and
Right.
people are going ape shit about it, suing them, making them take it off. And a lot of the sheriffs down here and police departments are standing up to them and leaving them on there. But again, where's your thought process on this? Are you offended to your very core because it says something on there? Why don't you look at that? If you disagree, you disagree. Why do you have to change it? It's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. It honestly doesn't make any sense. I mean,
It doesn't. It makes zero sense. Everywhere you look, they're removing. All right, here's another one. They're removing crosses and religious symbols from cemeteries, from war memorials, things like that.
yeah.
Again, this has nothing to do with putting other
Especially
people down.
especially being a war memorial and it's from a certain time, even if it's from 3 weeks ago and some guy got killed over in Afghanistan and the family wanted a cross there, that's their right.
That's the other thing. I'm glad you brought that up. They're going back to stuff that's been established for 100 years, 200 years.
Oh
and
yeah,
now all
tearing
of a
down
sudden it's
memorials
offensive.
and all kinds of shit like that. Yeah, and then there's just the war memorials themselves. Not even church related, but that's a whole nother conversation. But it's kind of the same. It all, like you said, it all goes back to the same thing. I'm being intolerant of everybody else's feelings, and I'm offended, so everybody else has to change.
It's it's sickening. It really is. It's a messed up. You know what? It's people who just they're bored, they're spoiled with life, and they just want to stand out and have their name out there because
It's
you
like
can't
any
tell me
cause
that
we've
you're
talked
offended.
about, and we've said the same thing. It's these bored ass rich, and they may not even be rich, but they're just they have enough money where they have no better time on their hands than to sit and fucking complain about something.
You know what sucks for our channel, Joey? Is it seems like everything we talk about is just the same talking point with a different topic.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, but that's how simple it is.
You're right. That's exactly how simple it is. I'm not offended if I walk by any other religious thing. I don't care if you're practicing this and that. It doesn't bother me. If you want to, I'm going to say my prayer before a football game. If you want to have another prayer, it's just like you go to a foreign event and they do their national anthem. Should we not stand up for their national anthem? It's just respect. Sit down, shut up. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I don't know. Like I said, the deal when I was in high school and playing football, and that one Muslim guy walked out, and I didn't, and then all it took was for somebody to say he's Muslim. It's not his religion. I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm surprised you didn't throw a fit and just want to mug him.
Well,
Isn't
yeah,
that what we're
I'm a
supposed to
white
do
guy
now?
from South Texas. You'd have thought I'd have killed him, but no, I didn't. I respected his religion, and I respect him as a guy. He's a real good dude, and he was a badass player on our team. We were like brothers during the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, just like every other topic we talk about, the moral of the story is why can't people mind their own business, let other people be happy? You don't have a freedom from religion, you have a freedom of religion.
Right.
My rights don't end, where your offended begins. That's not the way it works.
Right. Just like a lot of
People-
stuff.
With most things that we're ever going to talk about on this show.
Yeah.
So there it is in a nutshell. I mean, I hope we captured it well enough. And if you have a different view, please let us know. I don't see where we could possibly be wrong on any of that. But if you have a different view, leave a comment, send us a note, message, email, smoke signal, whatever the hell you want to do. Send it to the Quiet Perspective. We'd love to have a contrary opinion. So all that being said, this is the Quiet Perspective. Star-Lord and Joey signing out.